All right, let's crack the code on something that trips up pretty much everyone at work: communication. We're going to go from conflict and confusion to real clarity. And by the end of this, you'll have a super clear framework to handle your next tough conversation.
So first, let's just get a sense of how big this problem really is. Get this, research shows that in a lot of companies, as few as 5% of employees actually get what the company's strategy is. Just 5%. That means for every 20 people on your team, 19 of them might be rowing in completely different directions. It's a huge, huge gap.
And this quote from Woody Allen, it just nails how that feels. When things aren't communicated well, people feel totally lost, right? It's like you've just been dropped into the middle of a plan you never heard about. It's confusing, it's frustrating, and honestly, it's a perfect recipe for people to just check out.
Okay, so to fix this, we've got to diagnose the problem first. And a lot of the time, the real issue comes down to our default communication styles. Most of us fall into one of 4 buckets, and we usually don't even know we're doing it. Let's break them down.
First up, you've got the aggressive style. This one is all about domination. It's full of blaming, pointing fingers, and just looking for who's at fault. You hear things like, "You must do this," or "Who screwed this up?" It's not a conversation. It's a command that just shuts everyone else down.
Then, on the complete other end, there's the passive style. This approach avoids being direct at all costs. It's packed with words like maybe or perhaps, and it just sounds, well, wishy-washy. The real point gets totally buried, and everyone's left scratching their heads, wondering what you actually need.
And then we have the passive-aggressive style. You know this one. It can be the most toxic of all because it's so indirect. It's all about sarcasm, little digs, or those backhanded compliments. It's a way to show you're unhappy without ever having to talk about the real issue.
So, if those 3 are the problem, what's the answer? It's the assertive style. This is the goal. This is the sweet spot. It's about getting your point across directly, in a positive and confident way, but, and this is key, while still respecting the other person. You're being clear, not a bully.
And you can really see the difference here. The aggressive person, they're all about blame. They push their own agenda and turn it into a one-way street. But look at the assertive person. They focus on solutions, they actually listen to the other side, and they create a real, productive, two-way conversation. The choice is pretty clear, right? It's collaboration over conflict.
Okay, so we've got the diagnosis. Now let's talk about the resolution. The good news is, getting to clarity isn't that complicated. It's really built on 2 powerful pillars that work together to make communication actually work.
Our first pillar is active listening. Because here's the thing, before you can expect anyone to understand you, you have to genuinely understand them first. This is the foundation. Everything else is built right on top of this.
And let's be super clear, active listening isn't just being quiet while the other person talks. It's a real skill. It's about understanding the message exactly the way they intended it. You're not just getting the words, you're getting the feeling, the nuance, the whole picture.
You can think of it in 3 simple stages. First, you receive the message. And that means with your eyes, too, not just your ears. Pay attention to body language. Second, you process it. You actually think about what they said and what it means. And third, you respond, giving them feedback that shows you are actually listening.
So how do you respond? Well, here's a super simple but crazy effective tool. It's called echoing. Let's say someone says, "That meeting was interesting." Instead of jumping in, you just echo back the key word with a little question mark on the end. Interesting? It's an open invitation for them to tell you more without you interrupting them. It's magic.
And here's another great one. Paraphrasing. This is where you just repeat back what you heard, but in your own words. Something like, "Okay, so what I'm hearing is the project's late because the supplies didn't show up. Do I have that right?" It's like a fact check for your understanding, and it makes the other person feel really heard.
And one last thing on listening. You have to avoid these conversation killers, the nonverbal stuff. Slouching, folding your arms, looking at your phone. It all screams, "I don't care about what you're saying." Getting rid of these bad habits is just as important as using all the good techniques.
Okay, so that's pillar 1. You've listened, you actually understand where they're coming from. Now it's your turn. And that brings us to pillar 2, assertive speaking. This is all about making sure your message gets heard, clearly, confidently, and with respect.
A huge part of this is just the words you choose. You gotta ditch the problem-dwelling language like, "You always forget to send that report." That just makes people defensive. Instead, switch to solutions-focused language. "Hey, what if I send you a reminder the day before it's due?" See that shift? One points a finger, the other offers a hand.
And yep, you guessed it, body language is just as critical here too. To be assertive, you want steady eye contact, good posture, upright but not stiff, and you can use natural hand gestures to add a little emphasis. When your words and your body say the same thing, your message just lands so much better.
And I really need to hammer this point home. Being assertive is not the same as being aggressive. It's not about bulldozing over people to get what you want. But it's also not about being a doormat and letting people walk all over you. It's that confident, respectful middle ground where you value yourself and the other person.
All right, so we've diagnosed the common communication pitfalls and we've built the resolution with our 2 pillars. Now for the most important part, how do you actually use this? Let's talk about your next conversation.
When you boil it all down, this is really about a mindset shift. Great communication isn't a game. It's not about winning the argument or proving that you're right. The real win, the real goal, is just achieving mutual understanding. When you make that your focus, everything else starts to fall into place.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. The next time you walk into a big conversation, a really important one, ask yourself this: what's my priority right now? To seek to understand them or to seek to be understood by them? Your answer to that question will change everything. Thanks for tuning in.